welcome back to Sidcord TV. My name is Chris, and this is the second part in the series of Sidcord's Super 7. You would have seen in video 1, of course, we talked about the Super 7, how incredibly important it is and why you should get involved. And of course, we talked about the big one, tax. Now, we're here once again with the Managing Director of Sidcord, Paul Sidorowski, to talk about the second in the series, on the next rung in the ladder of the process, mate, which is, of course, protection. What is it? How does it look? How does it affect people?
Yeah, so it's quite important that it's no point building up all this wealth or these assets and having the wrong structure and just losing it because someone sees it. So we're in such a litigious environment that if you're not structured correctly, not only for tax, but for asset protection, personally and your business assets, then you could lose it in the wrong situation. Yeah. So under protection, we have 4 different parts to that. So the number 1 is the structure. So we'll make sure that your structure is right, that you're protected, so your business assets are protected and your personal assets. So that's the most important. So the second part is agreements. So if you've got a partner in a business, you need to have shareholders agreements and buy-sell agreements. They're imperative. I've seen so many situations where 2 mates go into business, we're going to take on the world, and they have a fight 6, 12 months later, 2 years later, and there's no document to go, how do we deal with an issue? It always ends bad. So you must have a shareholders agreement and must have a buy-sell agreement. They're imperative. The third one is insurance. So insurance is life, trauma, and income protection insurance. And the key with insurance is to make sure that if you're not around, if something does happen to you in the unforeseeable future and you're not around, that you've got insurance in place to make life go on with the least amount of disruption, personally, for your wife and kids or your husband and kids, and for your business. So just having that insurance, and I've got real life examples where these people didn't have insurance before they came on. We referred them to the right partners that we have, and they got the insurances and something did happen. And for me, it just made sure life continued. And the last one is estate planning. So this one's more about how does life look when you're actually gone? Is there everything in place to make sure life continues on how you want it to continue on? Because normally I could tell you now for my wife, if I wasn't around today, she wouldn't know where to start. So I have an estate plan in place that tells her exactly what to do and the right people to do that. So again, we partner up with the best who just specialise in this, and we refer them to them just to make sure they're covered.
Mate, to frame up for the people out there how important this is, firstly, how underprotected do you think Australian businesses are, and what's the risk of that really in a real life sort of scenario? Yeah,
look, I've been doing accounting for about 22 years, and when I initially started, I didn't put as much emphasis on protection because it was like, who's going to sue you? But just seeing how litigious the world is, but not only that, you can actually do something wrong without wanting to do something wrong. So having a structure in place that actually gives you choices and options is crucial. In the world that we live, like I said, it's becoming more litigious. I think there's a stat that goes 1 in 3 businesses will be sued over a 10-year period. So that's massive. So it's not hard. You just do it once. Do it up front. Get the asset protection right. Ask a question, and make sure that the person that is advising about asset protection actually knows about asset protection. Because I've seen examples where people advise on, this is the right structure or this is the way to protect yourself, and it's not. And I've seen real life examples where it could cost them millions of dollars in courts just to prove that this wasn't the right structure or this was right this way. So it's massive.
So already in the Super 7, our first 2 steps with saved people thousands, possibly millions, like you said in the first video, in tax. Now we've shown people how to protect their wealth, and we've still got another 5 steps to go. Very, very good stuff. So stick around for the third part in the series of the Super 7. Thanks, Paul, for joining us once again. Thanks for watching Sidcord TV. We'll see you very soon.